All right, this is Obaid on behalf of V Electronics, and in this video, we'll be talking about the adjustable mortgage rates, which are based off your interest rates, okay, as well as the COLA riders. Okay, so when it comes to your COLA riders, let's start off with COLA riders. So let's say you have COLA riders. Okay, so COLA has to do with wages. Okay, so wages are adjusted based on inflation. Okay, so wages adjusted, okay, based on inflation. All right, so this is based on inflation. All right, so wages are adjusted based on inflation. This is for COLA. All right. Now, what ends up happening over here is as the inflation rate goes up, let's say the inflation goes up by 2%. Okay, the wages will go up by, okay, 5%. Okay, so 3% more than the inflation itself. Okay, so COLA, it deals with inflation and it keeps the wages more than the effects of the inflation. Okay, so the wages will deal with the effects of the inflation and the wages will be more than the change in inflation. All right, now apart from COLA, you also have your adjustable rate mortgage. So you have your adjustable rate, okay, mortgage. And the way the adjustable rate mortgage works is by adjusting the mortgage interest rates based on the prime rate. Okay, so you have adjustable rate mortgage. Okay, they're sort of like your variable rate mortgage. The difference between these two, even though their interest rates keep on changing, the difference between these two, okay, over here, the interest rates may be based off things like your prime rate. Okay, and the prime rate can maybe based off your overnight rates, okay, from Bank of Canada. And those overnight rates are meant to control the interest rates based on inflation rates. Okay, so over here, okay, let's say you have your interest rates, and this is mortgage relevant interest rates. So interest rates. Okay, so the interest rates will change, based on prime rates. So your prime rate is sort of like a benchmark. Okay, just like you have a benchmark for your real GDP, your real gross domestic product, your base year would be your benchmark. Okay, your prime rate is a benchmark for the interest rates relevant to your adjustable rate mortgage. Okay, now this prime rate, okay, this one depends on the overnight rates. Okay, these are overnight rates set by banks such as Banks of Canada, okay, or Bank of Canada. Okay, so the overnight rate set by Bank of Canada. And this overnight rate, which is set by Bank of Canada, is meant to deal with inflation rates. Okay, so the overnight rate This deals with inflation. So anytime there is inflation, the overnight rate is changed right away, okay, to deal with the inflation. All right. Now, this is your adjustable rate mortgage. Okay, these are two, let's just say, investment products, okay, or products that deal with inflation. Okay, so your adjustable rate mortgage. Okay, this is a type of mortgage that deals with inflation, and COLA has to do with wages. Okay, so this has to do with how your wages work when it comes to inflation. All right, so other types of investment products or products include but not limited to, okay, bonds, and we're talking about shorter term bonds. Okay, so you have short term bonds over here, so short term bonds. And the reason why people invest in short term bonds is because their maturity date, okay, this is short term bonds, their maturity date falls before the inflation sets in. Okay, so maturity before inflation, for example. So that way, when the bonds mature, okay, their interest payments are not based on the inflation rates. Okay, so the maturity date is before. Okay, this is before your, okay, inflation kicks in. Before inflation kicks in. All right, and next up you have your investment portfolio manager, so bonds that are controlled or managed by your investment account manager. Okay, so bonds that are managed, bonds that are managed by your investment account manager or your portfolio manager. Investment account or portfolio manager. This is portfolio manager. Okay, this is portfolio manager. All right, so these are bonds that are managed by your portfolio manager. Okay, and apart from that, you also have other types of bonds. Okay, so some of the other types of bonds. So the other type of bond is your real return bond. Okay, so let me write this down over here. This is your real return bond or RRB. So this is real return bond. All right, so this is RRB over here. So RRB. This is real return bond. And the way this real return bond works, okay, because this is guaranteed by the government, is a relatively safe investment. Okay, the way this works is that the principal is adjusted, okay, based on the inflation rate. Okay, so when you have a payment date, let's say the bonds are due, okay, we're talking about the maturity date. So when you have a maturity date, when the payment is due, what's going to end up happening is the principal will be adjusted. Okay, so the principal amount, what you might have invested as an investor of these bonds, when you bought these bonds, whatever money that you paid, this amount will be adjusted. So principal adjustment. And when this principal is adjusted, the interest rates adjust as well. Okay, and because this interest rates they adjust, what's going to end up happening is, okay, you will have interest rates that reflect the inflation rates. Okay, so principal is adjusted, okay, and so is the interest rate. Okay, this is based on inflation, okay, or based on CPI, Consumer Price Index. All right, so these are investment strategies apart from your COLA as well as your adjustable rate mortgage. Okay, when it comes to inflation, on behalf of V Electronics, this is Obey. Have yourself a great day.